In the heart of Abuja, there was a man whose name could silence a room. Honourable Patrick Ike. Minister, a politician feared more than respected. People said he walked like he owned the ground under his feet. And sometimes he truly believed he did. Over the years, Patrick had built a reputation. A power-drunk politician who would revoke people's land at will. Families woke up to see bulldozers tearing down their homes. Retirees lost their lifelong investments. Small business owners watched their shops crumble under demolition machines. Patrick never flinched. He would sign a paper, revoked for urban restructuring, and walk away with the confidence of a king. But behind those revocations was a darker truth. Some lands went to his business partners, some to his political allies, some to foreign investors, and the most precious plots went to his children. People whispered, "He has turned the capital into a family inheritance." He didn't care. As long as the president turned a blind eye and his influence grew, Patrick believed he was untouchable. One morning, Patrick set his eyes on a massive expanse of land, 56 hectares in the heart of the city. Strategic, beautiful, worth billions. He planned to split it. 10 hectares for a friend in the construction business, 15 for a senator he needed on his side. The rest for a private estate scheme under his children's names. He signed the revocation order with a smirk. But unknown to him, the land belonged to the Nigerian Military, specifically senior generals. Land reserved for strategic defense purposes. Land the government never touched. Land no politician had ever dared to tamper with. Until Patrick. When Patrick and his team arrived to inspect the site, they expected silence, submission, and bulldozers ready to act. Instead, they met a wall of soldiers, stern-faced, fully armed, unshakable. Leading them was Lieutenant Marcus Danjuma, a man who had survived war zones and dictatorships. Patrick stepped forward confidently. "I'm here to reclaim this land. It's now under the ministry." Lieutenant Marcus simply folded his arms. "Honorable Minister, this land belongs to the Nigerian Armed Forces." Patrick laughed dismissively. "Hey, everything in this territory falls under me." The officer didn't move, but the soldiers tightened their formation. Patrick's voice grew louder, angrier, more entitled. "I have the authority. Nobody, not even the military, can question my decisions." Patrick's arrogance didn't stop. He insulted the officers, threatened them, attempted to force his way through. But for the first time in his career, his intimidation failed. The military stood their ground. Lieutenant Marcus spoke calmly but firmly. "Honorable Minister, you have overstepped your boundaries. Leave now." Patrick, red with rage, trembling with shock, stormed away. But the damage had already been done. The video went online. Within hours, Patrick became the country's biggest joke. Memes flooded social media. Patrick in military uniform being promoted by force. Patrick kneeling before a soldier with the caption, "When your bulldozer meets the wrong land." Photoshop battles between Patrick and army tanks. Young Nigerians reenacting the altercation in skits. For the first time, the people who once feared him were laughing at him. News outlets tore him apart. Public figures condemned him. Even his political allies distanced themselves. The president summoned him, eyes cold, voice firm. "What were you thinking?" Patrick had no answer. The man who once ruled with intimidation couldn't even defend himself. He walked out of the villa, feeling smaller than he had ever felt in his life. Days passed. Everywhere he went, people whispered, "He's the one who tried to grab military land. Power finally met a bigger power. He deserved it." For the first time in years, he wasn't feared. He wasn't respected. He wasn't even acknowledged. He had become a national mockery. One evening, he sat alone in his office, a place once busy with praise seekers and contractors. Now, it felt cold and empty. As he stared at the viral video of himself being shut down by the military, something inside him cracked. The arrogance, the entitlement, the obsession with control. He saw it clearly now. Power had eaten him alive. He whispered to himself, "I used power to destroy others, and now it's destroying me." For the first time in his life, Patrick felt human again. Moral lesson. In the end, Patrick learned the truth the hard way. Power is not ownership. Authority is not license. And a man who forgets he is human will eventually be humbled by forces greater than himself. Respect is not built by fear. True leadership is not measured by how many lands you can revoke, but by how many lives you can protect. Patrick lost everything, but he gained one thing he had never possessed: humility.